Hey everybody, Swida coming at you with another SWGOH GL counter guide. Today we're taking a look at Slicker versus GLA. This is the optimal version of Slicker, or an optimal version of Slicker with Darkside Rey, versus an optimal version of Ahsoka Tano that has Ezra. These are the big hitters here. These are the two characters that matter the most, and they make these teams the optimal teams. The third member of the enemy team really doesn't matter here. We'll talk about that later. And so some of you might be thinking, dude, this isn't hard. I do this every day. One, good for you. Two, one of the main points of this video is actually not just winning, but winning with good banners, because I think it's really easy to lose a lot of banners to GLA countering by the time you get to the end of this whole thing. So I do believe I've developed a foolproof strategy to make sure that this works every single time, because I'm sure if you've done this before and if you've used different abilities in a different order, you know, you start going, ooh, this is not looking good. This is feeling kind of bad here. So without further ado, let's get into this. So this is exactly how the battle is going to start. GLA is going to start with taunt. Now, 99% of the time, your Slicker is going to be going first. I'm not going to go too far into detail on this, but long story short, he has more base speed than GLA, and his leadership gives speed to his entire team and himself, while GLA's gives nothing to the entire team. So there is no excuse for your Slicker not to go first. Again, I'll talk about it later. This is actually easier if you don't go first because of something that we're going to talk about here, but let's get into this. So you're 99% of the time, you're going to go first. And because of Darkside Rey, you can ignore taunt. And so because of that, you are going to target Ezra. You do not let Ezra move. Ezra is the threat. Ezra can revive people. Ezra can wreak havoc. He can put healing immunity. He can do tons of damage. He can stagger you. Don't let Ezra move. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put Slicker's first special, the stun, on Ezra. So there's that. Now, by order of operations, GLA is the next fastest character. She's the other Galactic Legend. She's going to go next. The AI, for whatever reason, she always squats. And when she does that, she reapplies her taunt. That's important. We're going to get to why. There's the squat. She has taunt. Now we're at Hux. This is where people typically make the mistake. Everybody is so used to passing the turn back to Slicker because Slicker's so good. Give him more turns. Reset his cooldowns. Why wouldn't you do that? It's amazing. That is the trap that you fall into here, because you just lost your advantage because you crit Ezra Bridger Exile. When you don't have advantage, you can't ignore taunt. So if you pass this turn back to Slicker right now, he's just going to have to target GLA, and that's bad because we could be making way more progress somewhere else. Where we're going to make that progress is by using the mass assist on the third member of the team. That's going to do two things for us. One, it's going to do a ton of damage to the third member of the team. Two, it's going to dispel all buffs on the enemy team. Taunt is a buff. So not only are you mass assisting and doing a bunch of damage to that third member of the team, you are getting rid of the taunt that is about to bother your Slicker. One sec, I need some water. Hey, look, you get to see me recording. I was paused and I had to do this. So we're going to use the mass assist. It's going to do damage. It's going to get rid of taunt. Here's what that looks like. Great, tons of damage. Darkside Rey does her thing. Now, it is now Darkside Rey's turn. This is again always the turn order that this should go in, because again, GLA does not give anyone speed through her leadership, whereas Slicker does. So all things held equal, if your mod game is on point and your opponent's mod game is on point, your Darkside Rey is going to go next. I really don't think it would matter if Sabine took a turn here, but chances are your Darkside Rey is going to go next. So you're going to use the shock, because that is not only going to shock and do damage, it's going to call Slicker to assist, and I have never seen this not kill that third member of the team. So you're getting rid of that member right now, right out of the gate. There it is. There's the assist. Gone. GLA is going to counter. Great. Now, this is where it basically becomes brain dead, and all we care about is maximizing our banners. So we're going to swipe Ezra because he is the stunned target, and that doubles your siphon. Great. Yep, that's fine. Rey, it really doesn't matter what you do here. That's all I'm going to say. It doesn't really matter what you do here. There's that. Buffs. We're back on Hux. Now you can pass it back to Slicker because his stun is on cooldown. His swipe is on cooldown. He could use some turn meter. Why not? Pass it back. It's useful. Great. Now we've passed it back to Slicker. This is a point where, again, it'd be kind of hard to lose. If you want to be super, 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 super safe, just stun Ezra again. I choose to swipe him here because I know I'm going to lap him anyways, even though he's about to get out of his stun. But again, that's what I choose to do here. If you really just want to seal the deal, you could stun him right here. So this is me thinking about whether or not I want to stun him or swipe him, and I choose to swipe him. There's the swipe. Great. And now we're back here. It doesn't matter what you do here. I targeted GLA, but it doesn't matter. Okay. Now we're back to Slicker. I would recommend you poke him because the poke cannot be evaded. He has high evasion. If I would have tried to basic him here, there is a chance that it would have missed and he would have gotten a turn, and that would have been really bad because he could have put the revive on everyone. Just don't screw around with it. Poke him, kill him, and this is where he's going to die. Now all we care about is basically recovering as many banners as we can. So, for those of you who don't know, when Darkside Ray uses her shock, it recovers 40% health and protection for everyone on the team, and it puts her and the non-Slicker members under stealth. That's basically how you're going to recover banners. Another thing to remember with that ability is that when Slicker uses his ult, it resets that ability. So you can ult, and then you guarantee that that shock is up to recover some banners. So that's what I'm doing here. We ult. That's great. Now we're just going to do a mass assist because damage is damage. And now there's the shock, right? And so GLA in this video happens to have a tank revive cron. And you can see in this particular case, we would have only lost one banner on Hux. We actually have an opportunity to clean it up because there was a tank revive cron. So she comes back. That's fine. We just swipe, do the damage. Yep, that's fine. That's fine. We swipe again. It is now Hux's turn, or no, it's Ray's turn. I'm sorry. She does whatever she wants. Let's go. That's fine. Now that it's Hux's turn, I would recommend passing it back to Ray because that's going to reset her cooldowns again. If you can pass it back and you know you can secure the kill on GLA, it's going to reset her shock again. She's going to be able to heal everybody and recover their protection one more time. And it's going to call the assist, except I think I just end up killing her here. Watch this. We pass the turn back. There's the shock. She dies. We recover that protection on Hux. And that's clean banners. It works like this every single time. And it's all about in the very beginning, do not pass the turn back to Slicker. Call the mass assist on the third and then use Ray's shock on the third. That will kill them every single time. And it's done at this point. Even if you don't get perfect banners, it's so hard to screw it up after that point because you can just stun Ezra again, keep him locked down, and then you just ramp on GLA and you win. The reason it's even easier if you somehow are going second is because GLA is just going to open with her squat. That's her taunt. And then you have Slicker. Well, he has advantage because he hasn't crit anyone yet, so he can just stun Ezra. That's going to remove her taunt. And now you're just free to carry on with the same strategy. But remember, you cannot mass assist Ezra. You cannot assist against Ezra. So don't waste the mass assist on him because you can't mass assist him. That's why we just use it on the third and we kill them. So whether you go first or second, it doesn't matter. Mass assist that third character and then the rest of it is still just going to play out exactly the way it played out here. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found it useful. And I will see you all next time. I meant to end the video, but I'll see you all next time.